fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I'm super excited for this video because we're going to be doing 3 looks with the Natasha Denona Yucca Palette and a little bit of a mini review at the end because my thoughts really haven't changed that much from my first impression, which I'll have linked here in case you're wanting to see live swatches and everything with this palette. I really wanted to do more looks with this color story because it is absolutely beautiful and I felt really inspired by it. Multiple looks videos typically don't do that well for me on my channel, so if this is content that you enjoy and you want to see more of, please don't forget to like and comment and add a little bit of engagement for the algorithm. I would just really appreciate it. So without any further blabbering, let's jump on into the looks. So I know that for this look, I really want to focus on the shade Plantasia, that duochrome there, just like a full moment all over my lid. That's where the vibe is, but I thought I would also maybe mess with the kind of neutral mattes a little bit more, the brown mattes, whatever. I'm gonna start off with this shade right here called Valley, and I'm just gonna work that through my entire crease. Okay, that is showing up super pigmented. I did apply my eyeshadow primer different today than I ever have before, so I don't know if it's gonna affect anything. Whew, that's a lot, okay. So we'll just kind of tap that down through the crease and then just start fluffing it out. Don't know that I'm obsessed with the way that applied, but like I said, I think it's the eyeshadow primer. So just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. It doesn't look bad per se, like we can definitely work with it. I don't need to start over or anything. But if you're like, oh, that doesn't look the best, it's my fault. I buffed that in really well. We're gonna go in with a slightly smaller brush and grab a bit of the shade Flax, this deeper matte brown. I'm just gonna pop that right into the outer V. Really just tapping it down because I want it to be pretty depthful. There's no way that's a word. I just want it to be very pigmented, add a lot of depth, so that's why I'm packing it on first. And then with whatever's left over on the brush, we can blend that through the crease a little bit. I feel a little out of it because every video you guys have seen the last week I filmed in one day before my vacation, and then I just kind of worked as I went, and like whatever moments that I could get in to post a video, I did. So I'm feeling like a little out of my rhythm, but we're gonna get back to it. This summer is gonna be about content, you guys. I'm gonna do the absolute most. So that is basically gonna be it with the mattes on the lid. I'm gonna grab a pencil brush, grabbing some more of Flex, and I'm just gonna connect what's happening on the outer V to the lower lash line, just bringing that about halfway. Also grabbing Valley, the first matte we went in with, and popping that on the inner half of the lower lash line. Kind of just taking whatever's left over on the pencil brush and smoking that out a little bit. Out of this palette, I feel like I could go in with Plantasia on the inner corner. I don't know if I would love it, but it is an option. We also have this kind of like silvery green here, which could technically go on the inner corner. And then I also think Camu looks cute on the inner corner, but I don't know if any of that like makes sense for the look that I'm doing today. So I kind of want to pull into a Natasha Denona highlighter for the inner corner, just like do a little pop of brightness before we go in with Plantasia all over the lid. I'm just grabbing the Super Glow highlighter in the shade Fair. Oh my God, no. Good Lord, this is always breaking. Oh, I just got it everywhere, all over my white robe, but there's what it looks like, kind of. Oh my God, let me just, I'm trying to press it back into place and it's just breaking even more. So I'm just grabbing a little bit of that on a tiny blending brush and popping that onto the inner corner. What a mess. Okay, now let's go into Plantasia. I'm just gonna use my finger. I'm so excited. It looks stunning. All right, just gonna pop that, ooh, all over the lid from the inner corner to the outer V, just kind of blending it in with my finger. Look how cute that is. I just picked up a tiny bit. I'm gonna go with a little bit more. That is stunning. It's everything I wanted it to be. I'm gonna finish off this eye look with the Ilia Fullest Volume Mascara. Just coating my upper and lower lashes. Honestly, I feel like this look turned out pretty good. I don't love the way the matte's applied because of the primer, like I said, What happened is that I saw a TikTok on using a blendy brush for your concealer, which is what I did today. I think it looks so beautiful. But then I also was like, well, let me just use a blendy brush for my primer. And I feel like it left a little bit too much product and it just didn't set down quite right. So I didn't love that. Or I don't know if I just used too much product to begin with, but it did not turn out good. I think for my cheeks, I'm going to start off with the Sigma Cream Blush in the shade Quarter Rosa because I have not tried this out yet. It looks really beautiful and I feel like it'll go with this look. I'm just going to grab a bit on my finger. Ooh, it's super creamy. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Just going to tap some on my cheek. Just blend that in. I love how neutral and soft the color is. So cute. Okay, I'm adding more because I can't stop. I'm just gonna go over that with my foundation brush and just kind of make it a little bit more seamless. And then let's also go into the highlighter that I used on my inner corner. Won't show you guys again because you already know it's a gigantic mess. I'm gonna put that onto the tops of my cheekbones and then blend it back into the blush. Ooh, I definitely want a little nose highlight. I'm feeling that today. Lastly, for lips, I'm gonna go into the shade Love Bite from Blend Bunny. This is their tinted lip oil and it is so pretty. So here is the first look finish. I love how it turned out. This entire look, the eyes, the cheeks, the lips, I'm obsessed. I mean, look at that duochrome. Like, need I say more? So for the second look, I really want to do something extremely simple, but just classic. So I was thinking of sticking to these two shades right here. So we're going to go in with Calathi because that is one of the creamed powder shadows. So I want to just try it out, try that formula in this palette. And then also this shade right here, which is such a beautiful, like silvery green, sparkly moment. And I thought we could do a really cute look with just those two shades. So why not show a variety of when you have time and when you don't. So I'm gonna start off with the olive green, and I'm also gonna make sure I'm using a blending brush that's a little bit more dense just so I can pick up the product well and also blend it out well. I'm gonna start that off in my outer V, really just placing the product there first. That looks pretty. And then whatever's left over on the brush, I'm gonna like slightly buff inwards just to get a little bit of definition going. Okay, I'm gonna pick up a little bit more, just build up the outer V. This is definitely a shade that in the pan, it looks darker than how it performs, but I do think it's blending out nicely. That's what really matters to me. I am gonna pick up some more and just see, like, can we build this up at all? Just focusing it in the outer V. How much depth can we get out of this shade? I'm telling y'all, this look is so simple. I'm gonna go into a small pencil brush now with that same shade. Just gonna throw it along the outer half of the lower lash line. Now onto the second shade, that stunning silvery green. I am gonna do the absolute most with this shade, so I'm gonna start off with the pencil brush and I'm gonna pop that in my inner corner and then bring it along my lower lash line. I love how sparkly this shade is. It's so pretty. Now I'm gonna take that shade on my finger and pop it all over the lid too. Just kind of starting off on the inner half, and whatever's left over will blend into the outer V. So there you have it, a simple two shadow look. I'm gonna go into the Natasha Denona brown eyeliner real quick and just throw that in my waterline. And then just going into the Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara. Okay, for cheeks, I'm gonna go into the ColourPop blush in the shade Staycation, which is just a really pretty hot pink. I don't know, I'm feeling a more blushy moment for this look. That is what I'm talking about. That is a pink blush. Just gonna kind of soften the edges a little bit. I have a ColourPop highlighter here called Cold One that I actually have not tried yet. I need to like re-glue it back in the pan because the glue came undone. But it looks like a really pretty, just soft white highlight. And I thought I would just grab a little bit of that with the same exact brush I used for my blush and just kind of throw a little bit on top. Whew, okay, that is very pale. That's okay. It's cute together. I don't know that I'll ever be over like a nose highlight. I just think it's like, ooh, Like, just like a little nose boob. It's so cute. For lips, I'm gonna go into the shade Grace from BK Beauty. For me, I feel like this is the perfect everyday look out of this palette. It was super easy, only 2 shadows, and that like shimmer is just absolutely stunning. I'm so happy with how it turned out. So let's jump on into the third look. So for this final look, I really want to do something as colorful as possible, basically using the brightest pops in this palette. So I think I'm gonna start off with the shade Citrine. Actually, let me just tap out my eye primer real quick. It was definitely getting a little creasy. So I'm gonna pop that into my crease as my transition shade. Just gonna kind of tap it down and then blend. I'm using a pretty fluffy blending brush, so I think in a minute I'm gonna go in with something a little bit smaller, a little bit more precise to get this shade to show up a little bit more pigmented. I mean, it's already doing a good job. It's just, you know, obviously whatever brush you use can completely change the way that an eyeshadow performs. I'm going with a little bit more of that shade, just packing it on right through the crease. See how much brighter that is? Such a pretty shade. Next, I'm gonna dip into the Teal Matte Willow. Just placing that on my outer V to add a little bit of depth to this look. It is turning a little bit more like green versus teal, but it's because I'm layering it over Citrine. My plan for this look also was that I really wanted to go into that like gunmetal smoky shade Elysian, because I said from the beginning, I like when I see color stories like this, I feel like I've never seen a smoky deep silver with these like grungy greens, so I knew I wanted to try them together. So I think I'm gonna like do it on like the outer half of my lid and then maybe doing something on the inside to pop a little bit, but I'm not sure. I just don't know how this is gonna go, but I wanted to try it. I wanted to get some inspiration from the palette and do something I wouldn't normally. I'm gonna go in with the Singe Beauty E04 to apply that. I'm gonna go ahead and tap that on the outer half like I said. Well, that looks pretty. I'm just gonna build that up a little bit. Okay, that actually works. I think that looks pretty together. I don't know why I thought it wasn't going to. I think now I wanna go in with a little bit of the shade Ray, just kind of like a greeny gold. Hopefully this looks cute. And I'm just gonna pop that on the inner corner and then just blending that into the silver. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna take that shade on the inner corner as well. Just wrapping it fully around. We're gonna start on the lower lash line, and I'm just going with a little bit more of that shade, bringing it further in with a small pencil brush. Just because I think this will blend really pretty with the matte that I wanna go in with. So now we're gonna go into the shade Tushy, which is that really like thick, creamy orange. I haven't used it on my eyes yet because I've been a little nervous because it just feels so strange like on the fingers, but let's just pick some up. Okay, it's picking up really well with the brush. And I'm just gonna do like a pretty strong pop of orange on the lower lash line. Just building it up a little bit. Honestly, I think I wanna go in with just a little bit of Flax, the deepest brown, to connect the outer third of the lower lash line to the lid a little bit. I'm gonna take the shade Likeable Mood from Linda Hallberg, which is just a really bright orange, and add that to the lower lash line. Just kind of going all out with that pop of orange. And then just going in with the Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara. I actually have a new favorite mascara, but I need to keep using the ones that I've already opened and finish them up, so Ilia it is today. I actually really want to go with a blush that has like a little bit more of an orangey tone for this look, just to like keep with that pop of orange. So I grabbed the Melt Cream Blush Light in the shade Sandy Cheeks. Just gonna go ahead and, ooh, okay. That was a lot. I do not need any more. Like, let me just put that compact away. Mistakes were made. That was more pigmented than I was expecting, or I don't know if I just got a little too happy when I was sticking my brush in there. but I did not mean to do that. Very blushing cheeks now. So for highlighter, I'm gonna go into the Natasha Denona Super Glow highlighter in the shade Fair. I'm like reaching for it because it's forever away and it's broken and sad. Just a mess, but it's still beautiful. Just gonna add that right on top for that little pop of glow. Even though the blush is literally higher than the highlighter. I don't know what just happened. So I'm gonna take just a tiny little bit of that and highlight my nose. Last but not least, I'm gonna go into the BK Beauty lipstick in the shade Grace. All right, y'all, so this is the finished third look with the Natasha Denona Yucca Palette. I'm honestly obsessed. I really love how it turned out. I think the silver with the grungy greens is so, so pretty. I'm glad that I went ahead and tried that today. And overall, I just really love the look. I feel like it's so fun that you can go very soft and neutral with this look, but then you can also do so many different green, grungy, bright, smoky moments, just depending on what you go for. For me, I feel like this is a grungy green palette in like the most classy, like just effortless kind of way. I really, really love it. And I feel like Natasha Denona has definitely improved her shimmer formula for the midi palettes. The shimmers in here are stunning. They're sparkly, they're pigmented, they're metallic, they look beautiful on the lid. I feel like sometimes in some of her other midi palettes, the shimmers have been like a little bit like, not bad, but just nothing special. And with these, I feel like they are special, and I just love the packaging as well. The mattes all blended beautifully. I don't really have anything negative to say about this. The only thing I'll mention is like the shade Fushi. I did try today with my lower lash line and it picked up really well. I haven't used that on my lid yet because I was kind of nervous about it, but that shade is very, very strange. I will let you know that. If you're planning on purchasing this palette, it is extremely thick, but overall, I'm really, really happy with my purchase. I'm glad that I got it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing multiple looks with the palette. That is everything. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!